The Lich King, Arthur's Menethil, is once again sitting in the Ice-Crowned Citadel and plotting to scour all life from the world. Yes, that includes you. Fortunately, MrGM has got some tips to help you get your World of Warcraft characters to level 70, just in time for Wrath of the Lich King Classic, so you can try to put an end to his undead nonsense.
Hello there, I'm MrGM, also known as Dan, and I make content for World of Warcraft on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And with the imminent release of Wrath of the Lich King Classic, I think it's only fitting that we level up a Death Knight today. Now, Death Knights are World of Warcraft's very first hero class available for the Horde and Alliance factions. They are limited to one per server and usually require a level 55 to create, but in Wrath of the Lich King Classic, the level 55 requirement is being bypassed for each player's first Death Knight. Now, the Wrath Classic pre-patch has now dropped, setting up the world for the release of Wrath of the Lich King Classic on September 26th, and giving us a taste of all the content that is yet to come in the expansion. And to make this journey even more joyous, they're currently running a 50% increase of XP on Burning Crusade Classic all the way up until the Wrath of the Lich King Classic launch, so now is the best time to start leveling your new characters ready for Wrath Classic launch. So let's go a little bit deeper into pre-patch leveling, and specifically Death Knights. So if you're leveling a Death Knight as an alt, you can actually head over to the auction house and pick up some gear for your Death Knight once they leave the starting zone. Items like the Fell Plate armor set will be super great for your leveling. It's an armor set that you can put on during your leveling. In Outland, I believe it starts at 61 and ends around 64, and it's a pretty good set for your Death Knight. While you're there, you can actually look into getting a new weapon. There's a two-handed sword called the Blade of Misfortune, which is a really good sword. This will be usable at level 60, so you want to be using that pretty much after you leave the starting zone. Now, these items are not required by any means, but if you really do want to just speed up your leveling that little bit, it's probably worth going to the auction house and sending them over to your Death Knight once they leave that starting experience. If you're leveling other alts from scratch, you got to remember that obviously in Wrath pre-patch, everything's being shifted around, everything's changing, the talents, the spellbooks, everything. For example, with Warriors, previously Victory Rush was a level 67 ability, but now in Wrath pre-patch, it is level 7, so probably worth looking up that stuff before jumping into a brand new alt. So let's go a little bit deeper into the leveling experience of a Death Knight. So Death Knights start at level 55 as they are a hero class. You're going to be going through the Death Knight starting zone in the Ebb and Hold, and it is fantastic. It is a great zone. Honestly, if you've never done it before, I definitely recommend it. Going from 55 to 58 in that zone will be super quick. It utilizes some of the new phasing technology that was added in Wrath, and it's a really great story. And no spoilers, but yeah, the Lich King is involved in this epic tale. Now, once you come out of that starting zone, you're going to be level 58 and in Stormwind or Ogre mode, depending on your faction. Now, from here, you want to head down to Blasted Lands and to the Dark Portal. There you'll grab a quest that will get you through the Dark Portal, and that will start your leveling in Outland. The first zone you're going to go to is Hellfire Peninsula, and this is going to be a massive chunk of your XP. As you're level 58, you're the bare minimum going into this zone, but it shouldn't be too difficult because the starting gear is pretty good. As it's Outland, all the quest lines are kind of linked together, so here you're probably going to be getting from level 58 to 62, and from 62 you want to head over to Zangarmarsh, the swamp zone of Outland. This zone aesthetically is super different to any other zone in Outland, and here you're going to be gaining around about 1 level of XP. There's some really good questing, some really good quest hubs and things like that that are kind of just going to give you a lot of XP pretty quickly here, but you're going to go from 62 to 63 in Zangarmarsh. From Zangarmarsh, you're going to head south. You're going to head down into Tirikar Forest. While you're in Tirikar Forest, why not visit Shattrath City, which is the capital city of Burning Crusade. You want to head over there and grab the flight path probably, but then you can continue your Tirikar Forest questing. Now, Tirikar has some really good quest hubs for the Alliance and Horde, and honestly some really good quests as well. And this is going to give you around about 2 levels, so you're going to be coming out of Tirikar Forest around about 65. And from 65, you're going to be heading over to my favorite zone, which is Nagrand. Nagrand is so good, it's so fun. There's some really good kill quests with Nezingwary, some really good quest hubs as well, some outdoor PvP if you fancy it, and also the Ring of Blood questline. This is a super important questline for you to do to really help you level your Death Knight. So for this, you want to head up to the north part of Nagrand and go to the Ring of Blood. Now, this quest will require a group, but it's pre-patched. There's going to be a ton of people around, no doubt. There'll be lots of people to do this quest with. And this is a quest line that is kind of a gauntlet of boss fights, which will culminate in getting a pretty good two-handed sword for your Death Knight. This sword is going to be pretty good all the way up to level 70, and maybe even the early stages of Northrend once Wrath Classic launches. Now, coming out of Nagrand, you're going to be around level 67, and now you're going to be doing the kind of final stretch of your leveling. From here, you want to head up north to the Blade Edge Mountains. You're going to just travel through Zangarmarsh to get to the zone. Very vertical, very aesthetically pleasing. some really good questing, and honestly just a decent zone, to be honest. Quite spread out though, but you will only be getting around about 1 level here, and you'll be leaving Blade Edge Mountain around about level 68. From there, you want to head east into Netherstorm. This is where you're going to be finishing your journey of leveling, and you're going to get 68 to level 70 in Netherstorm, questing in Area 52, and all around Netherstorm. It's a really cool zone with some great quests and some really cool storylines there, so be sure to read the quest text while you're there. But as mentioned, this is going to be where you're leveling to 70 and finishing your leveling journey on a Death Knight. Now after that, you can head to Shadowmoon Valley or finish the questing in Netherstorm for some good like questing gear, but it's completely up to you. That most of that's going to be replaced anyway once you head into Northrend when Wrath Classic launches. So I've been MrGM, and you've been watching me grind a Death Knight to level 70, and I'll see you in Northrend.
World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic launches globally on September 26th at 3 PM US West Coast time, 11 PM British Summer Time, and when it hits midnight on September 27th in Central Europe Summer Time. Got any other suggestions for XP gains? Leave a comment below and be sure to keep it locked to IGN for more World of Warcraft videos as we celebrate the launch of Wrath of the Lich King Classic.